ever get lost in a forest and see something strange, do not go near it, ever. Now. Stay away now. Because the moment you notice it, something hidden deep in the dark has already noticed you from afar. I never believed stories like that before until the day everything changed forever and broke my reality. It started as a normal hike, just laughter and fun. Nothing felt wrong in the beginning of that day at all. Ethan and Lucas walked deeper into the forest, unaware something was silently watching every move. The deeper they went, the quieter everything became, like the entire world around them suddenly stopped. No birds, no wind, only silence that felt heavy, unnatural, and suffocating all around them slowly. Ethan suddenly felt something was wrong, like the path behind them had completely disappeared now. Lucas laughed at first, but even he could feel the strange shift in the air surrounding them both. Their phones were dead, no signal, no map, just endless trees surrounding them in every direction now. Every step forward felt wrong, like the forest itself was slowly changing shape around them silently. The shadows stretched longer, darker, moving in ways that made no sense and felt deeply unnatural. Ethan felt it clearly now. They were not alone. Something unseen was very close behind them now. Lucas suddenly stopped and whispered softly, telling Ethan to look ahead without making any noise. Ethan followed his gaze, and what he saw made his entire body freeze instantly in pure terror. There between the trees stood something impossible, something that should never exist in reality. An old broken staircase standing alone with no house leading upward into empty darkness above. It felt wrong, like reality itself was broken exactly where those stairs were standing, silently. Ethan stared, unable to move, like something unseen was pulling his attention toward it slowly. The air grew colder near it, heavier, like the staircase itself was somehow breathing quietly. Lucas stepped closer, curiosity taking control, ignoring the fear growing deep inside his chest. Ethan wanted to stop him, but something inside him froze completely and refused to let him speak. Then, suddenly, a whisper passed near Ethan's ear, soft but clear enough to be understood fully. It said, "Go back now." But when he turned around, there was absolutely no one standing there at all. His heart started racing fast. That voice did not feel human, and it echoed inside his mind again. Lucas asked if something was wrong, but Ethan just shook his head, trying to hide the fear. Deep inside, he knew something was terribly wrong, but it already felt far too late to escape now. Lucas placed his foot slowly on the first step, and everything around them changed instantly. The air shifted, the silence deepened, like the forest itself reacted to what just happened. Ethan felt panic rising quickly. Something terrible was about to happen right in front of him. Lucas climbed higher slowly, his smile fading with every step he took toward the darkness above. Halfway up, he suddenly froze, his entire body going completely still without any movement at all. Ethan called out loudly, but Lucas did not respond at first, which made everything more terrifying. Then Lucas whispered softly, his voice shaking, "There is someone standing right at the top." Ethan looked up carefully, but saw nothing at all, only empty darkness where no one should exist. Lucas spoke again, even quieter. "They look exactly like me, standing there, staring at me." Ethan felt cold fear rushing through his body, knowing something was horribly wrong now. Before he could react, Lucas's body jerked upward violently, as if grabbed by something unseen. An invisible force pulled him quickly into the darkness above the staircase without warning. Lucas struggled, reaching out desperately, but no sound came from his open mouth at all. Then, in a single moment, he was gone, completely, vanished, without leaving anything behind. The staircase stood empty again, as if nothing had ever happened there at all, moments before. Ethan could not breathe or think. His entire mind refused to understand what he had just seen. Instinct suddenly took over his body, and he turned around and ran as fast as possible away. Branches hit his face sharply, and roots tried to trip him, but he kept running without stopping. His only thought now was escape, get out, survive, before something else finds him in the forest. But the forest felt endless, like it was alive and refusing to let him escape from it at all. Every direction looked the same. Every path felt wrong, like he was trapped inside a nightmare. Panic grew stronger, his breathing heavier, and his vision slowly starting to blur badly. Then, suddenly, he saw a faint light ahead, the edge of the forest, finally within reach now. He pushed forward faster, ignoring everything behind him, not daring to look back even once. Finally, he broke through the trees, collapsing down near the forest edge, gasping for air. For a brief moment, it felt over, like he had finally escaped whatever was inside that place. But then, his phone suddenly vibrated in his pocket, and everything changed again, instantly. Slowly, he pulled out his phone with shaking hands, barely able to hold it steady anymore. The screen lit up, showing one new message, and the sender name made his blood run cold. It was Lucas, the same friend he had just seen disappear into the darkness moments ago. Ethan froze completely, staring at the screen, unable to understand what was happening. The message read, "Why did you leave me alone here?" His heart dropped instantly in fear. He had seen Lucas disappear. There was no way this message could possibly be real at all. With trembling fingers, he typed quickly, "Where are you right now? Please answer me fast." The message showed seen, and then typing appeared slowly, blinking again and again. Each second felt longer, heavier, unbearable, like time itself was slowing down around him. Then finally a reply appeared, short, simple, but more terrifying than anything else before. It said, "I never went up those stairs at all," which made no sense to him in that moment. Ethan's mind broke, trying to process what that meant and how it could even be possible. If Lucas never went up, then who or what was the thing that got pulled into darkness? His body went cold as realization slowly started forming inside his terrified mind. Something was wrong. Something unnatural still existed inside that forest behind him. And somehow it felt connected to him, like it was still watching, even from a distance. He should have left. He should have run away, far from that place, and never returned. But instead, something unseen pulled him back slowly toward the trees once again. His feet moved on their own, step by step, as if he had completely lost control now. The forest felt different this time, darker, heavier, like it was alive and aware of him. The silence was deeper now, like something was waiting patiently for him to return again. Ethan walked slowly forward, his eyes unfocused, like he was trapped inside a strange trance. Then suddenly he noticed shapes forming between the trees, standing completely still. Tall, dark figures stood silently watching him without making any movement at all. They did not move or breathe. They only stood there, observing him from every direction. Fear returned stronger than before, crushing his chest, making it hard to breathe now. He turned forward again and saw it, standing there exactly where it was before. The staircase, unchanged, waiting silently, like it knew he would return eventually. It stood there calling to him without sound, pulling him closer, step by step again. Without thinking clearly, he walked toward it, unable to stop himself at all now. Then slowly, he placed his foot once again on the first step of the staircase. The moment he did, everything around him changed, just like it had happened before. The forest below him slowly began fading away into endless darkness beneath him. A voice whispered softly inside his mind, telling him to climb higher and higher. He kept climbing, step by step, unable to stop himself even if he wanted to now. The air felt heavy around him, like reality itself was breaking apart slowly. Then, finally, he reached the top, where everything suddenly became completely still. And there, in front of him, someone was standing silently, waiting for him. It was him, exactly the same face, the same body, standing right in front of him. But something was wrong. Something felt deeply unnatural about what he was seeing. The eyes were completely black, empty, lifeless, reflecting nothing at all. The double smiled slowly, its grin stretching wider in a disturbing, unnatural way. Then it spoke softly, its voice echoing slightly. "You are late. I have been waiting." Ethan tried to move, but his body refused to respond, as if frozen in place. The double stepped forward slowly, reaching out its hand toward Ethan calmly. Ethan's hand lifted on its own, moving toward the figure against his own will. The moment their hands touched, everything around them exploded into darkness. A sudden silence followed, deep, empty, endless, swallowing every sound completely. Then suddenly, Ethan was standing again at the forest edge, like before. Everything looked normal, calm, peaceful, like nothing had ever happened at all. He smiled slightly, but something about him felt completely unnatural, because the real Ethan was no longer there. He was still trapped above, waiting at the top of those stairs, watching for the next person to come. And if you ever see those stairs in the forest, it might already be your turn now.